All right, greetings, family. This is Bomani Tayamba and our family. Welcome to our conference call for Safety, Security, and Surveillance Committee. All right, and what we're picking up from is our last conference call. I have some notes and put it together where I sent the description of just a few things we have on there as far as the topics, but which is our group updates, safety, security, and surveillance detailed program, suggestions and then recommendations. But as far as the detailed program, what I have is just the notes that we put together, and I'm gonna get that on screen sharing right away. All right, so make sure that everybody can hear me loud and clear. All right, perfect. So earlier in our conversations, we're talking about different things, gate and so on. Oh, what was that? All right. So the security watch program, all those things are also all tied into this perimeters and being secure. So what we really need, honestly, and that's why I've just highlighted just a list of the things that we talked about. We really just need research, in detail research on these things. And I know we're just kind of bringing them up and talking about it, but that's what has to happen eventually. And then we just put it together. So let me just go through the list of these things that we talked about, and then we can just expand on them. The Security Watch program. So Security Watch program is one of those things where we just literally trying to empower and encourage the rest of the people in our community to literally just be a security conscious, and that's will be basically fundamentals that we're teaching, and it's kind of like all age program where it's just awareness and education. So that's to be more so, and that's something that has to be quote unquote developed and put together. And most of us have good ideas of these things, but a lot of times that's what has to happen. Getting the type in. So Wally did some notes first, which I'm going to go through, and from him, listen to our last conference call. So once you start getting these things together and typing them up together, and you look over them, it just really builds a flow of what you're dealing with. And if you don't put it together and write it down, then you don't really have that flow, right? Security gate. Now the security gate, once we get just the layout of the property that's clear, we can kind of plot how the gate is going to be set up and look, and how it's going to work in reference to this people in and out. And then the other thing we talk about a lot on the last few calls, even the general calls, is people want to know about security fence, security wall, security bush. But that's one of those realistic situations where, once we get, again, the layout of the land, we can get people to give us quotes on these things and then kind of just come together and talk about it. Other than that, we just really have to just brainstorm. And then, because we have to look at the cost of it, and then also we have to look at us all together coming up with a development plan costs where we put the money together every month to pay for all of these things, unless other people have different ideas. Right. Security training. Before we start the call, we're talking about security training. Now, as far as that kind of security training, you definitely want to get as much of your people in your community, people in your town, just like the watch program, ready to train to basic self-defense. You mentioned about going out to the range. It's one of those things where those who are open, and those who are not, I'm not here to convince them about gun laws and things like that, but just like these crazy redneck white boys, like you tell them about taking their guns away and you have a war. So is that, so people are always going to have their issue with gun laws, and some people vote in reference to gun laws and things like that. But it's along with the same thing like religion. It's like, if it's not for you, then just, keep away. But it's one of those things that's going to be around, unfortunately. So what we have to do is find out how we, find out what we can bring and what we can't bring, and what we can't bring, find out what we can make, buy, or structure. That way we have our own, for purpose of us building ultimately ourselves as a security company. Because my goal is to make sure that all of us make a whole lot of money, and everyone lives well, and everyone can enjoy life, and everyone can, kind of be at their best to give back more. It's like I hear people with these wonderful dreams about going to Africa and everything, and it's like that's nice, but it's like most of the time we can't take care of ourselves, and that's because we're there, on solo missions and things like that. So it kind of cuts back some of our resources. But you want to be able to just be in a good situation. So us creating business from all of the committees, and those of us who already have business, for me, that's the only way to eat, to think. We got to be on our economics and things like that. We don't want to ever be a people that have to depend on anything. So us being, having military background, and have other people that's in the military, that military background, especially security, I'm looking to get them connected into what we're doing, and kind of work it out to where we can literally just build a program to where we can even get the certifications and the license to be, to do other higher level security and things like that. And then when you have people that are coming in, whether it's just an entourage of just folks from America that, maybe that's what they're looking for, we can build ourselves as that source for people to connect with us, and we provide them what they need, along with the areas of, like I'm expanding my tour business there. So one of the things I'm going to be big on is transportation. So all of these things go hand in hand, and so on. All right. Drone technology, that's the latest high-tech system nowadays, and things are only going to get better as it comes to like drone technology and things like that. The world and the future is just unlimited. So we can even probably have future systems where, once they're on the ground, they just power by whatever setup that we have to power them, and then they just make their rounds and things like that. But I'm thinking futuristic. Uh, and I myself here got a whole bunch of camera stuff, from different webcams to got spyglass cam, body cams, drone cams, got all those things. Those are things I'm looking to bring with me as I travel to Tanzania and Ghana to get all the footage for our, our operation as far as tourism, and also definitely the land, and, giving as much nice view as possible as we begin to just build our real estate base also, to just really just help people just who want to get land and things like that. So all of these committees is just governed to where we as a people going to run enterprise and build our own conglomerate. And with all of that comes the base and the need, without a doubt, of safety, security, surveillance, us protecting what we need to protect, and us, letting people know that, to watch out. Right. As far as our transportations and moving around, my brother talked about electronic bikes and golf carts. So that's one of the things that, we're on the second phase, we do have a maintenance shop, and that's what we're going to really need, because we're going to need to just maintain our vehicles and equipment and things like that, and be able to just make our way around. And then also, you want to promote a very, fit community. So walking is always great. And, bike riding is excellent. So we can probably find a way how to just maybe just have a nice sort of bike setup to where we just have a whole lot of bikes available to where we're moving around the community and we're doing certain things. We can ride our bike. Not saying that the roads are paved like that, because those things are not set up like that, but that's where we're going to get to, where we can do that. So it's a combination of security bikes, but also for for health and wellness. I heard we're talking about the process of getting guns. So as far as that, anyone who have any clarity to those things, educate the rest of us. And it's the same thing too. These are all things that have to be researched with clarity. Uh, walkie-talkie and communication system. So that's another thing too. We have to find out some of the best systems that we can just use, and be able to just make our way around to where we can just have a frequent communication with basically for those who are going to be in security, and those who may be managing the business center or the community center for the day, as we work out having different manager on duty for different buildings and different things, just like any any small town or any small community. So that system of security is not just for the security guards. It will be for people who are managing the community. So we're having effective way also to communicate in case something happened, and we can also listen in, while we're on duty to what's going on, while we're moving around. So those are some of the, the things we have talked about and collected. And I feel like everyone will, gonna love these things as far as what we've been discussing, as far as security details. Right, security lightning system. So that's one of the things where you're in Africa. For those of us who have been to different countries or different parts outside the main cities or in the main cities, you notice there's issues sometimes with lighting. So that's where we can find different ways, and that's why we have to make sure we have a nice, sustainable power system there in the community, so we can power all these things that we're talking about. Everything just require power. So we got to make sure that we have consistent power and we don't depend on city power. So the lighting could be created different ways. I hear about floodlights and also solar lights. So don't exactly have a clear idea of how we do lighting systems, but that's also another thing that we definitely have to get a good few different research on it. And also when we put things together, what we eventually gonna have to do is order a whole lot of stuff. So we would have to build a budget, and most of the things that we're gonna order is things that we're gonna bring with us, and the things that we can't bring with us, that we're gonna be able to order via different manufacturing. Like, you just basically build you an account with a international manufacturer. Like you have certain experts that they ship things all over the place from, like, you have a few different companies, like they're in areas like Dubai. So that's where you access all your solar panels, all your gadgets and things like that. So those are some of the things that I'm going to be talking with other committees. And definitely, naturally, we're going to need to put a budget together to get these things going. So that's the budget thing is another issue. And also it's something that I'm connected with people on our committee for business and professionalism, and also for the development. And the last set of things is the security alerts. Now, security alerts is one of those things where we can literally just have it to where someone can trigger certain alerts when, maybe, like you trigger alert if we find out there's the pedophile on deck, that will people be out ready to rush and tackle him, and things like that. And then lights go off and things like that. So those are some of the list of the top 14 things that we talked about as far as suggestions, ideas, and things like that. And what I want to do is, Brother Wally wrote these notes. So what I did, brother, I just corrected the text as far as the notes. I didn't do anything much beyond that. So if you want to just go through your notes and share with us what you're sharing with us, and then I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and then the source of security is the next set of things that you sent me. And so if you're going to spend a little time, and if you're in a good position to go through it, all you got to do is look on your screen. It'll be right there for you to read off and explain.
Give me a second. I'm gonna move. I gotta change rooms.
All right, absolutely. Change your rooms and things. And I'm gonna get this set up and organized. It should be, all right, everyone, you should be able to see this is nice and clear, and forget any typos and things like that, but it's just documentation that we're gonna modify to put together. And this 3-page will be organized more and more. So same thing I recommend others to do, just put stuff together little by little, because everything that we literally building is honestly literally from the ground up. You saw the land is literally being being clear. So that's my whole revolutionary vision for us as a people. Just we build it and it's ours. All right, brother, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'm at the family's house, so I'm at my fam house. So I was trying to, get it together. Okay, yeah, I'm just going over some of the things your brothers has said last meeting. I know some of the stuff I was just talking about.
Yeah, I want to make sure that you can see the screen. The notes on the screen. So.
Yeah. Okay, I see. I'm looking.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so that's what we just want you to go over, and then when you finish with that, I'll go over the next one that you sent me.
Okay. Yeah, this was kind of like my rough draft that I had done, and based off what I was getting from the last meeting and stuff. I know you're saying the stuff about the terrain we talked about earlier. I'm not sure Brother Mike went in did was on when we was talking about that, about the use of fences and barbed wire and bushes and trees as a way of a slight deterrent for people that's trying to enter the property and stuff, until we could get to a point where maybe we can have guards at the gate, admitting people, like a gated community type setup. I don't know how you brothers feel about that.
All right, can you repeat that?
I didn't know about how brothers felt about having guards posted at entrances, kind of like a gated community. Like, you have to go to the security booth before you can come in and out. I know that's not like an immediate thing. That's kind of down the road.
Yeah, well, something that I mean, we have to discuss everything. So, you're online with the ones of us that are on this call. So, anyone else, family, if you want to, you want to know how other people feel about the situation. So, if
Yeah.
anyone wants to chime in, just go ahead.
Yeah.
If not, our brother, continue.
Yeah, okay. So let's see the next point here. Surveillance. Yeah, I think I agree with everything people were saying with the drones. I think if we go that route, we'll need a communication post, somebody to monitor the drones, and another guy maybe in there with him to alert or send out alerts, or to be responsive to calls for people who are patrolling and stuff like that. Or if we do use civilians, they would need to communicate, things they see and report to the post and stuff like that. Okay. Me myself, I'm kind of against the use of civilians.
I love
having
civilians. Yes, brother. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. You don't want the civilians to get themselves hurt.
Well,
No amateur job.
yeah, well, not only that, it's just that in the United States, we got a vetting system. You just can't go and get no gun and run around. Even if you work for a security company, you're gonna have to go through training before you get that. But we don't really have a good way of vetting, I don't think, over in Ghana or in another country, the way you can in the States, with background checks and all that other stuff. Let's see. The thing about the dogs, I think that would be complicated, because I'm thinking of, if you got like you say, if you look at a subdivision, like for me, I lived in Las Vegas at one time, so I just think of how the setups of the gated subdivisions are, that they're so large that if a guy was walking around with a dog, he might not. That'd be his whole shift. You know what I'm saying? But him trying to walk the whole thing with a dog, and then if you got loose dogs and you got people in their yard, might want to be sitting out late one night or something like that, and you got dogs running through the yard and going crazy, that it'd be kind of hard to maintain. That's just my opinion. But I think as an individual, if you want a dog for your house, that probably would be better. Let's see. Yeah, we talked about walls earlier.
All right, cool. Let me scroll down. There you go.
Oh yeah. That's good there. Yeah, that's good right there. Yeah. What type of security are we trying to be like? Are we just having a select group of people who are interested in security, or is it a thing where everybody in the community will be participating, or will it be like a group of cats set up for like policing, or it's just I guess, for lack of a better term, a call to arms type thing? You know what I'm saying? What would be what kind of dynamic would this be for the security detail?
That is a great question. Anyone? He has surveillance, militia, armed security. Anyone want to chime in? And also the same thing as far as a dog also, anyone have anything that they want to share or just add in? We're just collecting information at this point.
Well, Damani, I think that the dogs could work if they're in a kennel at strategic points. And I think the dogs don't necessarily have to be roaming because dogs can actually detect scent from miles away. And once they start barking, that's an alert for us to know something ain't right. We don't necessarily need them to be roaming around, but a few hours a day, someone could at least walk them so they could get some exercise on a leash. But I think the dogs are good, for to detect people coming or if any kind of wild animals approach the compound, whatever. And yeah, and I also agree with Dimitri. Well, I believe we should be doing the security on our compound rather than entrusting that with people who we can't necessarily really verify, backgrounds on them. And I think it's something that we should just control ourselves. So that's just how I feel.
All right, perfect. Anyone else?
Yeah, but I just want to make it known is that I'm not fond of dogs. And I know how they were used on us in this country and on the indigenous people of this country. I don't want to use dogs on my fellow Black African brothers and sisters. That's how I feel about it. I'm not interested in dogs. No fond of them at all.
Perfect. Yeah. So with the dog situation, that's one of the things. Since it's it's a real situation, and we just have to share that with other members and see what they feel about it. If they feel a way about it, then we just have to kind of restrict the dog situation and things like that. And we do have children around and things like that that we want to roam free. And that's why I talked about bicycle and golf carts. So children need to drive around, walk around, run around. They're good and free, and so on. So yeah. So when we do a general meeting, someone from here can discuss some of these things with the rest of the folks, and that's why I also put this together, which I have it on Word and it could be edited. That way, when we do the conference call next week, we can just share with everyone what we talk about, so we can show that we're at least making some progress dealing with security of the community.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yes.
Well, my opinion with security. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, well, my opinion with security, I believe that we should hire a police officer which know the lay of the land, know the community, know the people. Because if we ever have any confrontation or any issue with burglary or theft, that's on us to prove that this person was stealing or what. One thing about Ghanaians, they stick together. I always feel that we should have someone in front as a Ghanaian, as a police officer on our property, securing and speaking for us as an extra cushion. Because when we are confronting someone from their country, they stick together. We need someone in front of us as a Ghanaian, a police officer or a security front, backing us, speaking for us on our behalf, speaking their language. That's how I feel, but, and also with dogs, dogs is definitely a good security deterrent, especially in the back of the compound. It could be fenced in back of the wall. Dogs could be let loose back there. That's where my plots are located, roaming in the back there. And also maybe a fence somewhere on the side where the dogs could be let loose in their own territory. It's a good deterrent, but that's my opinion when it comes to security. We should never be upon us as a whole trying to handle issues. It should be a cushion or a buffer there, someone speaking in our behalf and as our security, speaking the language. That's how I feel. Because Ghanaians, they stick together. They back each other up.
Yeah, absolutely. And the chief has laid out the portion of the land. I haven't seen it yet in the actual town for police station, all those things. So those are things that, you know, naturally, we know we make our connections there and things like that.
Yeah.
But, yes.
I'm quite sure
definitely.
people going to have their own dogs. I mean, I had German Shepherds, I had Cane Corsos. I mean, I love dogs. And
It's
then
fine.
again, you got to keep an eye on your dogs too, because there's some tribes there that eat dogs. I mean, I don't know if you heard about that, Bomami, but there's a
Yeah, you
group,
know,
a
yeah,
tribe
absolutely.
that eat dogs. They will kill your dog and eat your dog.
Yes, I'm definitely aware of those situations. So yes, and we've had, yeah, I've heard a few stories. So yeah, that those things do go on. I usually don't say much about it because it's one of those things. One of
Oh,
those,
of course.
yeah. But yeah, absolutely. So yeah, all these things we have to just plot out, and that's why we're talking about it. And that's what, so I was telling everyone that before we make a move to Ghana, we have to get on the same page with a lot of things. That way, we know we can just work this out. I'm pulling up the right there. I think that was it right there. Wally, when you're ready, continue.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Did we answer the question about like how would we mobilize or whatever?
You're talking about as far as type of security?
Yeah.
Yes, as far as type of security, one essence of that is you know, you want to become a security company. I mean, I'm not saying like we're going to be that tomorrow, and that also includes recruiting people local and also people that are, you know, coming to, you know, join us. You know, like especially some of them, you know, crazy folks that are in the Marines that love security and just, you know, they're all about it. So that's perfect. You know, any kind of dedicated people that's, you know, on a mindset, that's perfect. So you want to take advantage of that and build something. And, you know, for trying to get my other brother Jonathan to reach out and communicate with me, because, you know, I'm trying to get us to just use the skills that we have. And, you know, they always talk a lot of stuff about about, you know, guns and security. So I'm like, yo, make it a business, get paid, and let's, you know, take care of our folks. So that's one aspect of it. Other aspect is this: you're doing surveillance and you're doing like community security programs. So you're doing a little bit of everything. You're not limiting yourself to one or two things. But as far as militia, that's like taking that to another level. That's you know, I'm not saying that's out the question, because, you know, that may be something that needs to be done, but that could be also stem from, you know, the other security, the armed security, and the security to escort people and things like that. And it's not necessarily us doing it. And our goal is to be management and organizers and recruit talent. And the talent is, you know, like I'm telling you, we have a lot of our folks in different parts of the military. I have people in the Navy with me. That's what they know, guns. I don't, you know, I'm not a gun specialist. I'm more of a tactical person, but I do recognize the importance of, you know, of weapons, and, you know, and things that you don't ever want to, you know, try to build anything and not cover your base of things. So that's what we're talking about. But anyway, I don't want to take up too much on that. So Wally, let me know if that sounds good to you, because you know.
I did have a question.
Sure, go
Are
ahead.
we with our surveillance? Are we thinking about doing something like having like watchtowers, something that's raised up higher where we can have more of a view of our land?
You could probably do watchtowers. I wasn't thinking about that. But as far as surveillance, I was thinking about this different camera systems where you have wireless and wired camera systems, and, you know, we'd have to have, you know, a certain central point to control those things, and, you know, just like if we do drones or anything like that. So we'd have to, you know, build that. But it seemed like that's where, you know, where the future is going. So trying to also tap into future technology, because you're trying to also sell services and technical support, which has been a business of mine, that I feel like if we can get more things to where we can say that we're providing services and technical support, we can do that. So that also ties into the security. And let me see what else you just said. Yeah, as far as towers, you know, that's literally a great idea. If you can build something high up to where you can, you know, climb up or go up, that's literally, you know, I'll make sure I add that to the notes. That's without a doubt ideal. And like, you know, someone like myself, I'm building a 2-floor house, but I'm looking at roof access. I'm looking to use that port of, you have your equipment and you just, navigating around, but definitely a tower will be better. Anybody have any ideas of how we can do a tower? Just trying to think about all ideas, and somebody's eating good.
Well, Bamani, if you had dogs, you probably would need a tower because the dogs would alert you if anyone's coming. So it would make the tower redundant.
No, the tower is not going to be redundant because you're looking from afar, and you're also looking, you're looking out.
But
it's kind of
but
like
if you have a drone, but if you have drones as well, why would you need a tower?
Yeah.
Because the drone can go for a good while. It can go quite far from the premises. So why would you need a tower?
Yeah, when those folks who study technical systems, redundancy is always a good thing. If you have one or two things that does the same thing and does others, it's not a bad thing. And I'm not saying that we're going to do any or all of these things, but you're opening your mind to all aspects of safety.
Here's the thing: if you have a tower, right, at night the tower is not really going to be that much use unless you have night vision binoculars or something.
Night vision is a must, brother. Night vision is a must.
Yeah, unless you're going to be buying night vision binoculars and stuff.
Brothers, that's where I'm gonna throw up on my best Marine snipers up there. No, I'm not saying that it's appreciate everybody input and so on, but we just have to literally just keep a lot of things on the table as we talk, and not limit ourselves, because also we have to think about expansion and other things, and think about, I mean, honestly, this, when we look at the country and look at America where we live at, and when we look around, all we see is this corporations, this dominant, and whether it's 5 white guys putting their money together to buy some land to build a subdivision, or 2 guys from the Navy who just was expert at just certain things as far as technology and weapons, and they just provide those things. And that's what I've learned. I've learned those things from just being an American, things like that. And I feel like those are good things, because when we look around the world, even when we're in Africa, it's a situation of this economic issues and things like that. So looking to just find different ways how we can just, and not trying to say capitalize as in a bad way, because whatever we build and we have, we'll share as a people. But if we come there and we can't generate and have anything, we can't really do much and things like that. But nevertheless, anyone else have any input on the towers, just to share some notes, since everything is being recorded?
Yeah, I think the towers is a good idea, because also if for some reason, if your power breaks down and your communication post, you lose sight of them, you know what I'm saying? But I guess if you're going with your phone, I guess it wouldn't matter, maybe.
I think between the dog and the towers, that eliminates any kind of errors with electricity or any kind of technology. That's like the analog way of going about doing security. So I think having both of those things are good ideas.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect. Appreciate all of these inputs. That's perfect. That will work. And
yeah, Bomani, but power backup generators, I believe each home, supply their own power backup generator for electrical issues that go out. That'll be, last time I was in Ghana, I visited a couple of homes there, and they all had like power backup generators just in case the electrical went out. So if they're building a home there, that definitely should be a plus for a person that's building a home there.
Anybody
but I thought our community was going to be powered by solar.
I believe it comes out cheaper if everybody just invest in their own power backup generator in their own home. That's my opinion, because they do install them inside your houses.
Oh, yeah, okay. So Michael, you're saying electric power, like city power. That's why you prefer city power and have a generator.
Yeah, everybody, every home will have their own power backup generator if the electrical goes out. Once the electrical grid goes out, your power generator kicks on. The homes I had visited in Ghana, they had that installed there in their brand new homes there.
Yeah, that's what people have been doing for a while. What we're thinking more of is more futuristic. Not saying that we're limiting ourselves, because we still haven't finalized, and I still have to talk to Chaz and the rest of the folks what they came up with as far as that. Because the option that we had for power was always the city power, solar power, any form of wind or turbine power, and then the backup will be a generator for any of those systems. So you'd always want to keep a generator access. I don't know if everyone will need one, but that's not, those things are not even out the question. But it also based on how efficient our solar systems are. Solar systems are a lot more efficient now. So we even have to also figure out, do we get everybody their own independent solar system, or do we just do it in kind of do it in a grid system? A lot of, honestly, a lot of things to different to obviously analyze.
Exactly.
You know what, Bamani? I believe in a sustainability system. I think the grid system would be the best system. I think it would be more robust. Because if people go for individual systems for their houses, should they buy more appliances, they're going to automatically need more panels on their roof. They're going to automatically need more batteries. I already have experience with solar panels because my wife has a house in the Caribbean that is specifically powered by solar panels. And as you add more appliances, you need to add more batteries and you need to add more panels. So that's how the solar panel system works. As for like, if anyone really did want to have like generator, the only type of generators really are worth having are diesel ones, because they can run like for days, months, even years. Once you have diesel fuel, but the gasoline ones, they run out real quickly. They're thirsty. You gotta have diesel generators. They can just run indefinitely, but they're noisy though. That's the thing with diesel. And so are the gasoline ones. But if you've got a robust solar grid system, you're good to go. You just have to set it up, design it, and construct it very well from the jump, and I think we'll be okay. But like a last resort, if something did go wrong with the solar panel system, you have a diesel backup generator, and that will always fire up. That's just where I'm coming from, really.
All right. Well, excellent. Excellent. So as you can see, this us having different options will help. But there'll be a conversation that as I try to get the folks in sustainable development to organize something. But Kamal, you're in sustainable development. Maybe you can share something with us as far as what Chaz and others are working on. All right, there you go. Click on unmute, it should be good. All right, perfect, there you go.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the solar panels, depending on how much electricity you use, that's what the size panels that you're gonna need. He's got a PDF on it already that he sent out. Like you just find out how much you use like at your home, how much you use in a month, then you know what size you would need. How many solar panels you would need.
All right, perfect. So when you guys are talking, what was more efficient to do, solar systems individually, or solar systems grid, or just use city power?
Yeah, solar systems individually. Yeah, that's what we talked about.
Right. What was the conversation about city power?
No, they're saying it's kind of unreliable.
Oh yeah, the power will go off for days on you. Yeah, so I'm one of them people like, everything with me has to be an independent source. You know, kind of building your own grid and using towers and using like satellite technology. And then, you know, and in our case, using nature, you know, the sun.
Oh,
Yeah, so family, we'll keep that discussion, and then we'll bring that up when we have a general meeting, and we'll see what other people that's in that committee also have to say and share. Wally, I'm gonna scroll down, and then if you just want to finish explaining what else you want from your notes, and then we can just open things up for this general conversation, final conversation, suggestions, and then we just work on rescheduling for another conference call the end of next month to the beginning of the year.
Okay. Okay, covered that. Covered that.
All right, let me look right here. Last we left off at, yeah, we finished all of this.
I think we covered all this, huh? Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, will there be some money expense allocated for security?
Oh yes, absolutely. It's kind of like, you know, your State Department defense budget. You know, you have to when we come up with all the development budget, we have to just split up and say what we're going to put to where. So all of those are the complicated stuff that we honestly have not figured out. But
Okay.
we know we have to figure it out some way. So, and also whatever individuals can bring in the reference of any of these different things that need to be done, they can just donate and bring. But beyond that, we just have to come up with that budget.
Okay.
So someone may have to volunteer to write down a list of all of the things that we will need as far as this department. There's somebody there. I have one individual, I forgot the person from one of the other committees. I mean, that was going around talking to everyone. Go ahead. We just need to know, again, it's just a whole bunch of things that needs to be volunteered for. But that's one of the main things. And once we put all the budgets together, then we can also work on the monthly amount of money that we'll collect, and then try to work out profits based on whatever we can generate as far as business to put
Okay.
towards it.
Okay. There's some of these questions and I could bypass till you know, we figure that out. But one thing I think, how do you feel about like learning what the law is in Africa? I guess, you know what I'm saying? Like, we know what we can and can't do in the States, but we don't know what we can and can't do in Africa. Well, at least I don't, you know.
Yeah, and again, these are all research stuff that's, but you know, things like that is, you know, you open the individuals are clear that it's the same similar country, but as far as culture, we have education and cultural committee, and one of the things that they have organized is literally, you know, like learning the language, and then you know, those are things we can, you know, keep on discussing, and anyone who wants to do any research on those things and want to share with the rest of us, that's all good. As we try to work something to where we can all educate and empower each other with research information. And that's what we end up having. You know, once we start having more conference calls, it will just literally strictly be based on that. As you know, because right now we're just getting the feel of things, but that's where you want to get to, that where the research get other things done. Like the research literally just make decisions a lot easier because documentation is put together.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, all this it's good. Did we answer about everybody in the community moving, or just a small portion of us?
I mean, people are gonna move. Some people may take up to 10 years. Who knows? But you're gonna have people moving consistently, and you know, we're prepared for that. I already have set things up for the several people that's moved there. They're all settled. They all live around Winneba. They have all sharing a house or renting an apartment in the area, which I've reduced the cost of what they normally would pay if they was in Accra. they'll probably pay 3 times as much. So, and then I got some of my best people there. That's literally there to just, connect and help everyone. So some of this, so things are in place. And then the more of us come, then those on the ground would just kind of give you a nice introduction and assist you with what you need as you get there. All right, so let me just stop this screen sharing. There we go. And get speaker view. All right, so those are the notes and those are the things that we have talked about. So anyone who want to share anything, just go ahead and share.
I think we should be looking to build a sustainable solar system that is a grid-based rather than individually, because you're going to need power not just only for the homes. You're going to need power for the security outposts. You're going to need it for the business center, also for the wellness center. If you do it individually, then you're going to have to find panels to do those buildings as well. So if you just did a grid system, you could just do everything one time. And if you did the grid system, you could set it up in a way where it always could be upgraded over time. So that's where I'm coming from.
We have to have someone else from that committee that's kind of share what they have. The best way I can look at that is you'd have to analyze before you finalize any decision. And as you can see, that's always the way I look at things before we make decisions. So the fact that we're talking about it is a good start. I'll open up to anything else. Go ahead before we.
How often are we going to be setting up these meetings?
Rarely, very rarely, unless someone wants to set up meetings consistently, take notes and record a call and think. A group that's never on these calls, so we can either set them up on a regular basis and completely lose the people that we have behind, and do our best to kind of reach out to other people and kind of work on certain things outside of meetings. We actually communicating in the group chat, and individuals also calling and communicating with each other. So that's how I look at it, but I don't want to use this the way I look at it as one point. Anyone who wants to do something else, let me know. And
But
keeping up with
you're breaking up. Your mic is breaking up.
All right, can you hear me better?
Yeah, I can hear you better. Yeah.
All right, anyone else have an issue hearing me?
Yeah,
Not now, no.
All right, cool. Yeah, so I was saying, so meetings are, I don't know ever what to say, maybe every 4 weeks or so, and so on. But whenever folks want to have meetings, but we don't want to just have people just on the meeting, just to be on the meeting. But anyway, I just want to get everyone else's opinion. But I'll spread meetings out because we have, the things I just mentioned earlier. Lack of just, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I guess I was trying to say, because I know we as security detail, we got to get together in order to present the stuff for the next meeting. That's what I was trying to figure out.
Yeah, so it's something that you don't always have to have a meeting to work on stuff.
Yeah.
And like I said, more meetings and more keeping up with it and things like that. But the ideal thing is to honestly get people to be able to communicate and work on things together. That's so I've literally just been stretching out meetings and kind of just posting what I can post in pages. Like I have 2 committees I'm working in. I got a business plan that I've worked on, and I'm limited based on many things. So now I'm looking to get people to look at it, give feedback and things like that, and so on. But any suggestions for any of these things, that's fine. And anyone wants to be an administrator of the group to where you can organize meetings and keep up with notes, let me know. I remember, Michael, you mentioned that you weren't flexible to do that. So let me know if you're still not flexible to do that, because if not, then
Right.
Wally can switch with you.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And then Giovanni, another person too, if you're open to that too, we can add you to that. And just trying to see who, who wants to, to do some of these things. And, organizing the meetings and writing notes. But
Yeah, my schedule's a little bit easier. You know, I don't have a bunch of commitments, so I'm open to it.
And then
Yeah, I could do that as well. Just let me know where I could fit in.
all right, perfect. And then I just yeah, and you did mention that to me before also. And I also have to see what Charles is, because what I did was just add a few people when we were just trying to create a group, just to create it. But those who ever feel like they can want to jump in and do more, that's fine. But definitely, while we still just trying to work out meetings, which is trying to get them scheduled like every 4 or 5 weeks. Just try to work it out to where we can just do more on the group page and work on whatever we decide to work on. And any documents that I need to put together, like the document I just sent, is just a Word document that could always be sent to anyone who just want to edit and remove certain things and just build a security detail. Other than that, what I've just been doing with that document is taking notes.
Okay.
But Monty, I'm quite sure we'll probably how do I say this? Like instill a tribal justice system or something. Like, how would that be arranged? You know, just in case an issue arrives. I mean, we deal with human nature. You know what I'm saying? So two people might have a dispute and stuff like that. Will you have a set counsel to deal with that kind of issues and stuff like that?
No, don't have anything set. We just have to come together and talk as a people. And if we want to work it out that way, we can work it out. Do we have a board? We have a board, but and then we also have a chieftaincy, a chief that's there, and his folks there. So we have and a whole lot of elders. So we can work it out either way. But folks are gonna have to learn to just be able to talk and discuss whatever they have and be able to just work together and things like that. I'm hoping that all of those people who can't get along with other people can stay in America and things like that. But yeah, we just have to just be able to just have things open for discussion. And that's what I've been trying to get everyone to do, this talk about it and just put our input in and talk about certain things. But the people who naturally haven't showed up and we don't really see them around, they can't complain about input, because that's what we told folks. Whatever we're putting together is going to be based on the people that are present.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yep. Okay.
All right, perfect. Before we close the next few minutes, anyone want to share anything or discuss anything or open any kind of conversation to anything outside of what we've talked about?
Yeah, outside. But mommy, I want to mention that this is a little off base. With the builders, have that been finalized yet? Who are planning on building the homes on the land?
Yes, we have a few builders on the list. So
I like to recommend. I like to recommend one builder that I believe you guys are negotiating with. Is Terry. Are you familiar with him?
What builder you want to recommend?
No, there's a construction worker. His name is Terry. Is he on the list as one of the builders?
Terry who? To be clear, there's a Terry Ofori.
Yeah, Terry Ofori.
Yeah. You know him personally?
Yeah, I do know him personally. Actually, last time I was in Ghana, Jerry from Ancestral Wall, he set me up with an appointment with him, and he took me to 4 of his properties that I was really impressed with, and which was in Prom. So he's definitely someone to consider. Born and raised in Ghana, but went to college in Washington, D.C. area. So he definitely has a feel exactly, what we want and what we desire to have. He's building went to one of his properties in Prom. He's building a hotel there. And also he has 2 properties, maybe a block away from Ancestral Wall. So he's one construction worker that I definitely will recommend. You know, I seen his work, so I like what I saw.
All right, well, perfect. I appreciate it. Yes, he's one of the guys that are cleared on the list. Just have to put the document
Yeah,
together, sent to everyone. But even before that, the people that are ready to build, they're in Ghana right now. They have access to those people, so they're the first people who have access to them. And then the chief is going to help them do the building plans. But beyond that, I'm just putting together. I have a list of just the name, number, email address, and a few basic details. So that's always something I can just send to anyone when they're ready. But they have also sent me detailed papers. So I got to find a way to work those into a nice
right.
PDF where everyone will see their name, the kind of work they do, and things like that. So
Right.
it should only be a few more emails that has to be sent, and then I should have everything all together. So hopefully by
Very
the time we
good.
get back from Tanzania and then we get ready for Ghana, I can have that ready for everyone by early December. And so hopefully those who are ready to build can be ready to build by January. But everything is literally based on your building permit. So that's what not a lot of us have a lot of clear information on. So
But when it comes to money, um, how we can go about transferring our money into a bank when we start building, how can we go about, you know, getting our money there instead of wiring it or transferring it? We don't have a bank account yet at this time, so that's a difficult issue when we're ready to build, and how to get our U.S. dollars legally and not being taken advantage of there in Ghana.
yeah, so I'm saying that we have the people there are the ones represent the full process of everything. So they're there and they're as far as their money, their money in the US, it's a wire transfer from your US account to there, or you can work cards as best as you can. But as far as the wire transfer to your account there, once you're there in Ghana, trying to get the lawyer to finish up with the paperwork for our incorporation and all of those things, along with the people that we have represent us, those are the things that can get you bank account there. So you have a US account and also your Ghana account. So you can work with your bank that has all your money in to get them to transfer it to your new Ghanaian account. And then from there, you can use that to pay the builders. But for right now, when we do start anything with the builders, the only thing that we're giving them is a deposit. And then going to make them work for the money.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's what the agreement was. You had one jackass talking about that. He want all the money up front. I was told Corbin that's the first one that's getting fired. You know,
Exactly.
take all the
Exactly.
money up front, and then next thing you know, you can't produce. Next thing you know, we have to send them boys after you.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
So I tell everybody the best way we're going to deal with everything in Ghana to avoid us bloodshed, you know, is literally we're just going to make payments little by little. And the same thing, I'm stringing payments for for same. That's how I pay the chief
Yeah.
and pay the lawyer and the consultant. But that's not what people in Ghana expect. But I'll be like, hey,
Half down. Or
I was like,
yeah.
the art of business and the art of deals is what we agree on. So I don't care what the laws is, what this is. Can this work for you? And can you be
Exactly.
accountable? Because if you're trying to get all this money up front and you don't deliver, it's not going to be
Yeah.
good. And I even learned that from Garby Town. It took a whole lot out of me. People keep on saying, you want me to go check them? I was like, no violence. Let's just kill them on the internet and put them and just bury them online, and no one will ever deal business with them.
Exactly.
So that situations work out nicely. So that's what everybody has set up there, and everything else is going to be a little more organized for everyone that's here. They'll have a detailed PDF and things like that. But
And
just
how soon can we get a bank account? How soon is
as soon
that?
as you can get to Ghana and you can meet up with Kwabena and the chief and our attorney.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because there's also a Ghana commercial bank, and that's the bank right outside of the actual property. So we can so that would be ideal, and also I've done a lot of business there. The chief has
Okay.
an account and also Kwabena has an account, so it's gonna have them basically be our representation. Just like I got someone working on citizenship for us.
Okay.
Paid him some some money to go do the legwork. It's my brother David, and work it out with the main people that are doing it. So trying to work on all of these things for us so we're good, just like the shipping and everything, and then trying to get us focused on what we need to do and get going and everything. But yeah, brother, as soon as you get there and you're ready, before you leave,
Yeah.
just let me know. Other people just went ahead. We didn't really have it even planned out, but folks, with all the stuff going on, you can't tell folks that can leave not to leave. So, they're in the house, and the only thing they have to do is this. We're all gonna have to rent something for 6 months to a year.
Right.
That's probably the discussion that we probably need to more so have, and that's gonna cut our costs. But it's not a situation where we're gonna be able to just really just build this house like within the next 6 months or so. So I'm sure are you ready for long-term stay for 6 months? Because Kwabna is working on an additional place where 3, 4, 5 people can rent that house, and it's gonna cost you about as low as like 125, 150 to as high as 200 a month, which is a whole lot less if you was in
Right.
trying to rent.
Right.
And then you put
Right.
your money together for everything.
Exactly. No, I'm not retired yet at this time. I'm still working on that. So
And then the long-term plan is we'll get enough of us set up there to where those of us who want to build from a distance, I know people all say, don't send no money, don't build, but it's us. It's not like we're dealing with a bunch of people. It's just us together. And we're, like we have a good set of our folks. I have some of our best people in our group that have really just helped make a whole lot happen, already moved already. And
now, are the builders accepted? So once our money transfer into a bank there, it automatically converts over to Ghanaian CDs, correct?
yes, you just and then you just pay them with Ghanaian CDs.
Okay.
And then if you're here and once we get the detailed plan I was mentioning worked out, and then you decide you want to do certain things, and then we get a contract together and so on, we can just kind of just get it managed for you, and you get updates on your property and so on. And we just have our own other members around because I'm letting all the builders know we're gonna have all kind of cameras on. We're recording everything. So
Right. Right.
and it's and you know as you've been to Ghana a few times beyond the time you went with me, folks are slick, and I'm from Jamaica, and the same thing to you go to Jamaica, you're gonna have the same slick problem. And that's just how our folks are when it comes to dealing with us. And we just have to have the upper hand on them in these situations to make sure that things get done in order and there's no issues and problems.
Yes, I agree.
And that's what I mentioned about surveillance, but we can't really throw nothing up because there's nothing to put anything on. But yeah, and we just work it out as best as we can, and then we just make it to where we're gonna reduce our cost of building by just working these measures out, and then also looking to recruit some work parties. So some of the things that we don't really need skilled builders for, we can just get some of the young brothers and sisters some cash to help with certain things. Trying to incorporate some of the chief's people into whenever these things happen, folks always come around like. They're ready to get, so you always want to make sure that, split some of that money with the folks in the community also. So those are the things that we got planned out, brother. So
Right.
after that, us dodging that bullet with them crazy ass folks, Garbage Town, I tell folks, we figured out when you come together and say, we're going to do this together, and
Right.
it gets done. So we already know that's the only way it's going to get done. No magic
Exactly.
group of people talking about they this and that. Because when it comes down to the workload and the management and organization and things of it, especially a 70-year-old man, not saying anything bad about anybody that's up there in age. Like when I'm 70, I'm not trying to be managing anything like this. Yeah. So, and then, there's things, so we're just going to kind of work it to where we all just take accountability for different things and
Right.
just make it work. And that's the only, I've been to Ghana 17 times, 13 years. And people keep on saying, when are you going to move? I'm saying, when we get it together to where I can live my best life and enjoy life and be free and don't have to deal with drama. And if anybody give me a hard time, I can show up with 50 people. Yeah. And things
Exactly.
like that. So other than that, I've seen it all. I've seen all kind of drama and all kind of things. From people coming back homeless to people leaving out, going to see their mother.
Yeah.
Like all their stuff is gone. The folks getting targeted, all kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Very light negative stuff, but there's we at this point we can't take anything for granted. So that's why the strength in numbers really work to where me and many other people feel okay and comfortable to moving because we know we have other people have our back, and we have we have a good group of folks from Ghana that understand what we're doing, and because how it is, man. You're always gonna have haters somewhere. They look like they got left out.
Exactly.
Like where I'm from in Jamaica, you find people like that. and then they want to come check you, and then you like, you start, you have your sniper, you put your hands up, you have your snipers, point a red dot on them, and so you just have to come with some level of strength, because I'm basing that also on, like I literally said, man, stories I've heard and people I've been around with and things like that. And when you come strong, like we're coming, nobody messes with, even the group when we travel and we just rolled in the numbers, like people just, and sometimes at a club 20, 30 of us, or 10, 20, or 5, 10, and we're just good. So just want to keep on using that as a tactical strategy. All right, family, I've said enough. Anybody want to add a few last minute things or anything that they want to like say, I can commit to working on this and things like that. And then from there on, we could just keep in touch and see if we can just work another one of these conference calls before everybody get ready for Christmas.
Yeah, well, you mentioned walkie-talkies. Should we invest in buying walkie-talkies at this time so we can all be on the same page, purchasing the same brand of walkie-talkies? That would be a good conversation piece, and we can practice at this time, talking to each other while we have them here.
It's also something where if you're buying a set, you may buy a package of a 20 package set, because you're getting it from a manufacturer, and then you have that laid out to where you have it for security force and people are going to be managers. But as far as now, I wouldn't know how that will work as far as that and things like that. So that's what I've thought about. But if you have an idea, definitely share it. Because you said the same brand and on the same frequency and things like that.
Exactly, that'd be something to look into. Purchase it here. I don't know if they sell them there. I'm quite sure they do, but I don't know the quality of them there. But that's something to think about. Purchase them now on the same frequency, same brand. Yeah.
So Marty, as for walkie-talkies, the two companies that are the most popular for walkie-talkies is either Motorola or Midland. There's a few more others as well. I think there's a Chinese brand as well called Bafang, something like that. But as you said previously, you have to buy it like you can buy them single radios, or you can buy like a base station type of radio where somebody has the radio kind of like in an office, and then people have individual walkie-talkies type of thing. You just got so many different variations for walkie-talkies. Because when I used to work as security guard, that's how it used to be. The supervisor was at the base station, and then the rovers would have the individual radios. And that's just basically how it worked. And the radios we had back then were Motorola's, But some of them are so more modern now, because now a lot of them can do weather alerts, like hurricanes, flood alerts, all kinds of stuff. Some of them have GPS built in, But when we buy, we have to remember the voltage there is 240. Anything we buy here is 120, 60 megahertz.
Well, it's never always we're in a world now with everything I've seen that every single equipment out here, as far as this since naturally I'm in Africa, and most of the time that's what we get it for. It all ranged from 110 to 240. So it has that variation in it. So the same thing when you buy certain things, but what you can also do when you build our community, we don't have to limit ourselves. We can build a dual voltage system in all of our homes and things like that. So you're not limited. When I travel to different international hotels, the same thing too, they have dual voltage. And I've never, I would have to just check with some of these builders if, that's probably something more requested than anything else. So we shouldn't have to worry about that. But also when we do our research, make sure that we look to make sure that they have brands like that, because you're going to have brands that are not going to be in that range. So that's all we just have to focus on, and we should be good. All right, perfect. All right, any other suggestions or anything? Other than that, I can close and we can literally just connect back.
I got a question, but I'm gonna ask it in the next meeting.
Sure, absolutely. So this is what we can do now. As far as those things I put as far as on a PDF, those are some of the things that we have to research. Communication is on there. So if anyone want to look up a few different walkie-talkies and things like that, and at this moment, I know it is, everything is going to be a link, like a YouTube video or a YouTube article. That's fine, because once we post those things will be loaded into the, into the YouTube, into the WhatsApp page. So where once we go to the top and we click on, we click on the media button, it gives you access to all the links, the videos, and everything that's been posted. So we can always go back and see what we all posted and share, especially if we can't keep up with certain posts. So those are some of the things that any one of us want to just free flow, look at things and look it up and share and discuss it. We can just flow that way. And then what I can do is just arrange another meeting for us in December. I want to say the date should be like December 13th. And that should fall into the flow of 4 to 6 weeks where we can just do these meetings. And then if we need to accelerate and do them more often and things like that, that's fine. But we'd have to have more people bring research and things to the table where we can just discuss it and things like that. All right, cool. So that's it. So family, let me put us back in gallery view. All right, so family, appreciate everyone's time, and we're gonna keep on building and keep connecting. And thanks everybody input, and we'll just keep working it from there and everything, and keep in touch. And then if anyone needs to reach out to or connect with me anytime, you can always call me or send me a message on WhatsApp, and I'll connect with you. And Kamal, I'll connect with you. I'm gonna start the Kamal and Wally. I'll connect with you on the conference call that starts at 7 o'clock. If you can make it, I'm just going through our tour stuff, tour conversation and things like that. And other than that, I'll catch up to everybody. You take care, family.
All right, peace, brothers. Hey, let's try to get up during the week, y'all. Let's try to pick a day in the week to at least get in the group chat and try to kick it or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. Let's do that. And same thing too. Let's post those research and those links.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll work. Yeah.
All right. Perfect.
All right.